So I'm continuing to see here if I can put external wall insulation on my house with no previous experience. I'm now at the stage of actually sticking the boards to the wall. So I've cleaned the wall, I've put the starter track on, I've primed it, I've cut the boards to shape, and now I need to use adhesive to stick the boards to the wall. This is actually the stage that I've been most worried about so far. So far it's been really easy. Let's hope that this at least isn't too difficult. Right, the first thing I need to do is mix the adhesive. I've got about 2 meters square I need to do here, and it says it's between 4 and 5 kilograms per meter square. So because this is nice and flat, I think it'll only need about 4 kilograms per meter square. So I need to mix 8 kilograms of this adhesive. And for that, I've got 1.89 litres of water, because that's what I need for 8 kilograms. I'd need 5.9 litres for 25 kilograms. So that's the ratio equivalent to 1.89 litres for 8 kilograms. So I put the water in here. Now when I'm mixing a lot, I'm going to get a paddle mix for this. But for the moment, I'm just going to use a normal trowel to mix it. I need to weigh out 8 kilograms. So I've got this. This is normally used to weigh bags, and I'll see how much this weighs and then make sure that I put 8 kilograms more of that in. So this weighs 2.23 kilograms. So I need it to weigh 10.23 kilograms once I've got this in. So it's going to be about a third of a bag of this. It's 10.3 now. Mix that nicely together. You're supposed to mix this for 6 minutes apparently, and then you leave it for 10 minutes, and then you mix it again, and then it'll be ready to work for about 2 hours. God, I see why I'm mixing a lot of this. You want a paddle mix. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. I now just need to mix this once more, and then it'll be good for 2 hours to put on the wall. And then after that I need to leave it for 48 hours to set. And it's got to be above 5 degrees for that 48 hours, which it's going to be just. And then after those 2 days, they'll be stuck on. I then just need to put the metal fixings in and I'll be up. Okay, so that's mixed again. Now I need to start putting it on the wall. I've researched the different methods of putting the adhesive on. I'm going to use the dot and dab method. So I'm going to make a margin all around the sides and a couple of dots in the middle and put it on. And that's because that will help me get a good seal around the outside, so no air will get behind the board. Right. This is not quite as easy as it looked when I was watching videos of it. Get it in the right place. Maybe I'm getting a bit better at this, a bit quicker at doing it. Okay, that's the board done with the adhesive. Now I'm trying to stick it in place. One thing I've done here, I've moved this out of the way. You'll have seen in an earlier video that I changed this to a plastic pipe, and it's movable now, so I've managed to move it to the side. So this will fit in. It's certainly nice and snug, that. So that looks pretty good. It's not perfect because there's still a little bit of a gap here and here, but I think in most places it'll be sticking, and it's certainly very snugly fit to the top of this and snugly fit at the bottom, so there shouldn't be any air getting behind it from there. Just have to make sure this next one's a good seal. So what I think I've learned here is it's good to make quite a sizable height on this bit so that it makes a good seal. So I'll try and make it a bit higher on this one. I'm definitely getting quicker at this. Right. Put this in here. Oh, I've made a mistake. I want this further over. Okay. Let's try that. Again, looks like it's a nice snug fit. In fact, it's a very snug fit up there. There. Perfect. Right, now for the next one. Now this is going over where the two bits of starter track meet. So one starter track ends there, the other one begins there, and that's so that it'll help make them exactly level. Yeah, that's beautiful. Just about to fit this board. Okay, that board's in place now, so now I need to just cut the final one to the exact size between here and then put it in place. Okay, so I've learned from last time I'm going to put the line here down here so it doesn't interfere. And actually this is pretty much exactly the right amount of adhesive I've got here. I'll have a little bit left over, I think. Not much. Great, let's fit this in place then. Okay, that's done. All nicely flush, nothing sticking out, no gaps. And I need to leave it for 48 hours and then I'll put the pin fixings in. And after that, that should be fixed. But already, this should be keeping the house a lot warmer. Okay, so that was more difficult than the other things, but it wasn't that difficult. I've had a couple of hours to reflect on it and to clean it up now. It's all looking very nice. I've checked the starter track's going to fit, but there were a few learnings from that. So firstly, that method of using the trowel, the back of the trowel, to put the adhesive on, that worked very well. And you did need to make that margin of adhesive around the sides of the boards quite high, I'd say between 1 and 2 centimeters, to make sure it gets a good seal. And then when there were the corners here, it's important to keep the adhesive away from the back of the board on that section so that it could still marry up very closely. And then fourthly, I got a lot better at putting that adhesive on as I went through, so it's definitely worth starting, I think, on a small section like this so that you have plenty of time. I mean, I had plenty of time. I did it in about an hour and I had 2 hours to work that adhesive, but still, starting on a small section seems sensible. And then finally, I'm definitely going to want a paddle mix for mixing more of that adhesive, because I could just manage to mix that amount, but if I needed to mix a lot more, which I will do, I'm going to want to do it mechanically. And then there were 3 things that went really well. Firstly, that lump hammer and that piece of wood, that worked really well to push these in and to make sure that everything married up nicely. And then, as I said, 2 hours setting time was plenty to put this on. I could do this in just 1 hour. And finally, that 4 kilograms of adhesive per meter square, that worked perfectly for this, so that was the perfect amount. Great. Next, we've got to wait 48 hours. It's got to be above 5 degrees for this to all set, and then I'll put the mechanical fixings in place, and that'll be in the next video.